Hey, greetings. Welcome back to Sean's Irish Whiskey Shelf, coming at you from the heart of the United States out here in the Midwest, where the weather has certainly been on the ups and downs here lately. It was warm, then it was frigid, now it's going to be warm again, snow, warm. I think Mother Nature is having a panic attack or something. But hey, look, a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. As always, if you like what you see here, take a second, go down there in the corner, click the like button. I sure would appreciate it. And if you want to be notified when I have new videos out, you can go over to the other corner and click on subscribe. It would mean an awful lot to me if you took time to do either of those two things. And as always, don't forget about Hard to Find Whiskey. You can find them right down there, htfw.com. Great online retailer, fast shipping at reasonable prices for an overseas company, superb selection of whiskeys, as well as other alcoholic beverages, great customer service, knowledgeable folks. So if you need something, can't find it here at your local liquor store, check out Hard to Find Whiskey. They might actually have it. So what I have for you this evening is something that, I tell you what, I just stumbled upon this at one of my local liquor stores. This is a bottle of 2 Stacks Irish whiskey, and I had never heard of them before. So I had no idea what to expect. This bottle cost me right about $70, and I was intrigued because, number one, I'd never heard of it before. Number two, something that I don't think any other whiskey manufacturer, bottler, distiller, whatever, ever does, is right on the back of the bottle. They show the makeup, the actual makeup of this whiskey. I'm going to show you a close-up here so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And you'll see right there on the label, we're talking 40% dark grain, which is aged in virgin oak casks. 40% light grain, that's aged in bourbon casks. Then you got 8% pot still, that was done in aged in Oloroso sherry butts. You got 10% single malt, 10% double malt, that was aged in bourbon casks, and then 2% peated malt, also aged in bourbon casks. So quite the blend of whiskeys here. There you go, quite the blend of whiskeys. And it's, to me, it's kind of refreshing in a way to have a bottle of whiskey and know what you're getting, because this is a blend, obviously. And when you look at other blends, you know that, all right, it's a blend, and it might say a blend of single grain, single malt, or a blend of pot still and single malt. But you're left to either do your own research on a website, or maybe you find some other folks who are in the know to find out exactly what your whiskey is made of. This is right here on the bottle. So that was kind of intriguing too. So I did a little bit of research on 2 Stacks. They're a fairly new company. They are not a distillery. They're a bonding company. So they source their whiskey from other distilleries, and then they mature it and bottle it to their tastes, which is the way a lot of folks used to do it back in the day in Ireland. You didn't have these super huge distilleries that were churning out bottles of their own whiskey. You'd have distilleries that were putting together the whiskey and then shipping it to bonders, who would then bottle it and sell it under their name or their brand. So that's what 2 Stacks does. They get the whiskey and then they blend it and then they ship it out under their label. Now, this is cask strength. It's a cask strength blend that we've already talked about. 2 Stacks does also have single pot still, single grain, single malt. They've got a regular cut blend as well. This being cask strength, this is the most powerful Irish whiskey that's on my shelf. This is 64%. So that's 128 proof. The only other whiskey that even comes close is the Sonderabteilung. That's 127.8, I think. So this has it beat by just a little bit. Difference though, that's all grain whiskey, single grain, I believe. Yep, single grain. That's all single grain. This is that nice blend. So they've only been on the scene since 2022. That's when they opened up. So they're fairly new. And as they like to say, they're taking some of the old traditions of Irish whiskey and combining it with some of the more contemporary, not traditions, but ideas, I guess you'll say. So let's give this a try. You've got 80% of this is going to be grain, half and half between dark and light grain. So that right there is not something that is really my favorite, but we're going to try it. 8% pot still. That's too bad, because as you all know, I like my pot still. Double malt, that's 10%. So, okay, maybe that double malt will, the double malt in the pot still, that's about a third of it. Well, maybe not quite. I'm sorry, about a quarter of it. So, we'll see how it goes. And then 2% peated malt. I am definitely not a peated fan, but at only 2%, let's see what it's like. So here we go, 2 stacks. This is the cask strength. All right, so the nose definitely is pretty strong. It's not objectionable, but yeah, you can tell that's whiskey. Yeah, that's 128 proof, folks. Woohoo, yeah. All right, so first impressions. 80% being single grain. Yeah, I got the single grain. It's a little unfortunate because I'm just not a single grain guy. I wouldn't say that it's hateful, but it's just not what I particularly enjoy. What is interesting is the 2% peated malt. I'm barely getting that peated malt taste. See, I can tell it's there. Excuse me. You can get just a hint of that peat taste. I mean, we are not talking silky, and we're not talking Connemara. Right? Those are peated whiskeys that, boy, if you like peated whiskey, those are 3 that you want to try right there. If you want to maybe work into a peated taste, maybe get a hint of what a peated whiskey might taste like, this wouldn't be bad, because it is just that little tiny bit. And I don't know if it's on the label or not. I do know it said on the website when they were describing this. No, it's not on here, but one of the tastes that they want you to find is like a smoky campfire, just a hint of a smoky campfire. Well, yeah, you're going to get that out of this because of that little tiny peat taste. All in all, I think this is one that I would definitely need to cut with a little bit of ice, just to knock down the alcohol a little bit, and maybe to smooth out that single grain taste. I think that together would probably, for my palate, would make this a more enjoyable drop of whiskey in this glass. So, not hateful at all. Not in my top tier, obviously, but if you're playing along with your cards at home with mine, and your palate's like mine, you may not like this as much. But if you like that single grain taste, you like that peated taste, then this probably isn't a bad whiskey to try. Yeah, for $70, I don't know that I would buy this particular bottle of whiskey again. I could spend $70 on whiskeys that I like better. And now I'm really curious to try their other ones, because this really does have a lot of body to it, a lot of flavor. You get that complexity between all those different whiskeys. I'm telling you, I'm not saying this is a bad whiskey. I'm just saying it's not my palate. But it's a fine whiskey. It really is. For $70, I think that was a good buy. I really do. Not for me, maybe for you. So I really hope I can find the single pot still in this. If I can, I really, really want to try adding it to the shelf. Also, their blend, their standard blend. I don't know if it's got the same makeup as the cask strength. I suspect it probably does. And maybe cutting back that alcohol a little bit to 80 to 86. It might not be so in your face with the alcohol. But anyway, if you see it, you like the single grain taste, that sweetness, you want to try some of the peat, pick up a bottle. I don't think that you will be disappointed. This really does have a nice flavor to it, some really good body, some complexity, and I believe it would be well worth your $70 if that's in your palate. So that is all I have for you this evening. As always, I really do want you to enjoy your drops of Irish whiskey, because any reason to have one is a great reason. But just remember to do it responsibly so you can be here next week. Haven't really thought about what I'm going to do next week, but as always, I'll figure it out before then, and we'll have a nice drop of whiskey together. And until then, I want you to be well and be safe. All right? Sláinte. Bye now.